glistening in black. What a great looking car that is. Buick derived engine under that bonnet. Indeed. Another magnificent Rolls-Royce glides into view. Followed by bright orange Lotus Elan Plus 2. Super little DAF over there with the CVT transmission. This Zodiac is super original, the Mark III Zodiac 1622cc. Absolutely incredible. There goes the Mitsubishi Sapporo. What an incredible looking car that is. Such a good example of one of these now. Hi folks, welcome to the Old Classic Car channel, and you catch me mid oil change. Yes, the trusty 1995 Mazda MX-5 Mark 1 is receiving fresh oil and fill today, hence the snappy threads. Yes, looking particularly glamorous today, I think you'll agree. But tomorrow the plan is to head over to Thoresby Park, which is somewhere sort of Nottingham, Newark way, that kind of side of the country. It is a show that we have never been to, this particular classic car show. We've never been to this one, so hopefully I'm expecting to see a whole pool of cars that we've never seen before, and of course I've never featured here on the channel. So I thought, well, it's a great opportunity, as the weather's okay today, just to give it a fresh oil and filter, and then it's all set for its momentous voyage all the way over to sunny Nottinghamshire, I think it is. So yeah, fingers crossed for a great show tomorrow. Well, morning folks, and we are here. This is Thoresby Hall. It looks like a fantastic venue on a fantastic day. The weather looks just perfect for a classic car show. So, as always, we are fairly, well, I say we, we, as in me and the car, we are here quite early today, early doors as usual. Hopefully we'll catch some of the rivals. There are a few cars just coming in. We've got pole position in section F, which is sports and convertibles. A Hillman Avenger Tiger, no less. Harley's back at base today, catching up with a few little jobs. That's a very purposeful sounding 1275 GT, so I'm afraid you'll have to put up with my dulcet tones today as we walk past a couple of classic Mercedes. So what category are we in here? 80s? Yeah, 1980s. We've got a lovely W123 in really beautiful condition. This one must be quite an upmarket one, having a passenger door mirror. We've talked about the standard specification levels on some Mercedes before. Next to that, Mercedes-Benz SL on a W plate. Very, very nice indeed. What do we have here? Mitsubishi, the Sapporo. Is that the one I saw at the NEC just a few weeks ago, I wonder? It looks very much like it, and there can't be too many of those around. Triumph Herald, two-tone, white and grey. An Escort RS 1600i next, in hot pursuit of that E-Type and the Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. MG Midget as well. Looming into view, a Wolseley 1500 no less. R129 series Mercedes SL in hot pursuit of the Bentley. We've seen this on the replica Italian car stand before now, based on a Jaguar XK8. In fact, most of the club appear to be together, arriving in as one. Like I say, we've never been to this event before, so what will turn up today is anybody's guess. Got a great little Morris Traveller on mini light wheels, very, very smart, with MGB Roadster behind that, and a Morris Pickup no less. First side-valve Ford of the day, a Ford Prefect E493A, glistening in black. Very quiet engine in that one. Approaching from all directions. Another MR2. Series 2 E-Type Roadster. Yep, this way. That's the one. Very smart indeed. Volvo 240 no less. I did see a whole gathering of Ford Capris meeting up in a lay-by just down the road, so looks like they're all arriving at the same time. We have Toyota Celica versus Subaru pickup, the so-called Brat pickup. That's super clean, that one, very nice. Got one of the posh versions of the Mark 1 Ford Escort arriving now. What a great looking car that is. I have to say, all these concrete roads here kind of make me think of like a military establishment. So I'm wondering if maybe the military were here during the Second World War, perhaps. And a Jaguar looming into view. Another mini convoy of classics heading down our way. MGB GT at the front. Morris Minor 1000 behind that, quite a late one on a J plate. We will have a wander around a little bit later and just have a closer look at all these cars. Another SL Mercedes there, and I can just see, heading down the avenue, a Volvo P1800. Reliant Scimitar, the SC6 version of the Scimitar GTE with trailer. Another car to go on the replica stand, based on the BMW Z3. Ooh, another Mark 1 MX5, great news, good to see another one here. Hello. First Rover P6 of the day, and it is a V8 power car, 3.5 litre Buick derived engine under that bonnet. Indeed. Great stuff, cheers. And here is a little bit of military history, a wartime Jeep. Not sure what that is. It's a Chrysler. A whole trio of wartime Jeeps, no less. Ford Sierra XR 4x4, the V6 powered Ford. Volvo 760. BMW 635 CSI. Nissan 300ZX. V6 powered Ford Scorpio Estate. Next up, a slice of classic Triumph history, a Triumph TR3A. Roof down, putting me to shame. Now we have a pair of Mitsuokas, is that how you pronounce it? Made to look a bit like a VW Splitty. An XF Estate with, in its rear view mirror, what appears to be a pop hot rod with earlier bumper. An NSU R080 no less. The rotary engined NSU. That's a rare sight now. Great registration as well. We've got the mighty Corvette. And behind that, a 7 Series BMW, an Alpina modified E38 7 Series no less. And a Mazda MX-5. I must be barking. And here we have an Alfa Romeo GTV. Is this the GTV 6? Bullnose Morris of the 1920s. I was hoping we'd see some really early cars like this. What a bobby dazzler that one is. Beautiful little Cowley. What do we have here? A beautiful V8 Ford. Very nice too. The old flathead. Another representative of the Rover P6 ranks and another V8 powered car. Very unusual colour that one as well. The Granada Estate, no less. Another magnificent Rolls-Royce glides into view. Wow, that's just stunning, silent. Little Honda CRX. Super smooth V6 power. And another of Cru's finest. Behind the XJS, the super rare Panther Rio. This was a much modified Dolomite. If you look at the side view you can see Dolomite, but that is a much rarer Panther. That is a properly rare car. That's one we'll definitely have another look at when we go for a bit of a walk around later on once all the cars are here. Got a lowrider Chevy here. VDP 1300 from 1966. Two classic convertible Triumphs, a Spitfire 1500 and a Triumph Herald 1360. Also scraping the bugs off the tarmac. Fantastic 50s Ford pickup. Oops. Mercedes SLK, followed by bright orange Lotus Elan Plus 2, air-cooled V-dub, little Suzuki, the Nissan S-Cargo. What a bonkers looking machine that is. Is that the one we saw at the North Wales Classic Car Show a year or two back? It may be. But there are a few of them dotted around. 2CV of course. Mini Jaguar S-Type, probably an S-Type R. If the wire mesh grille is anything to go by. Yep. MX-5, perfect. An Audi Cabriolet back there. Is that the Audi 80 or the Audi 90? Behind an electric Jaguar we have a beautiful sounding XK powered Jaguar Mark II. Well, I say Mark II, it's actually a 340 or a 240, one of the very last, just before the XJ6 came out. Note the slimmer bumpers. And these had Ambler seat upholstery as standard, although leather was an option I believe. A beautiful midnight blue car. Is that likely to be a 240 or a 340? I think it says 240, so the 2.4. That was very much like a run-out model for the Mark II. And another much modified pop. More XK goodness now, thanks to an XK 150 fixed head coupe. Lovely. The Morris Minor, beautiful Traveller again. Seen a few of those already today, so clearly well represented across Nottinghamshire it would seem, and Derbyshire isn't too far away either. Next up, a little Vauxhall Nova, 3-door Nova. Apologies for any shadows, the sun is still quite low. Jag, followed by Aston. MGTF. And a brace of Mark IV Ford Escorts. RS Turbo. RS Turbo. More open top Triumph now with the Triumph Stag 3-litre V8. All the convertibles are definitely out and about today. 1985 XJS. Quite a few Jaguar X-types are starting to appear at many of the classic events we get to. A much modified Ford Cortina Mark II 4-door, lower roofline on this one. .535i BMW, the E28, very, very nice car. We've seen that once or twice already this year, I think. And the 840 Ci with it. So I think the last time we saw that was at the Ironworks Centre over near Oswald Street. If you haven't seen that video yet, please check that out, because that was another event we went to just for the first time just a few weeks ago. Both of those BMWs were there. We've got a 535i, the E34 series Beamer, much later M3, and the E39 series of 530i, 3-litre straight six under the bonnet of that silver Beamer. Fiat 500 the Bath. Morning. Very smart Rover P4, quite an early one. Porsche 924 and the Jaguar XK8. Modified dolly, probably a dolly Sprint. We've seen this one before somewhere. A Toyota Supra. Another MR2, Mark II. Quite a few of them here. Must be a big club presence here at Thoresby Hall on this beautiful early May 2024 morning. What a fantastic day for a show. Obviously, as this is the old classic car channel, we will be prioritising some of the older cars like this Mini, while showing a bit of everything just to give an overall flavour of this particular meeting. Lovely straight six burble from the pipes, tailpipes of that TR6. And behind that, Mark II Ford Fiesta. Yeah, so we will be prioritising the older cars, but yeah, there's such a mix of vehicles at this particular event that, yeah, we'll try and feature just a little bit of everything. And here we have another 5 Series BMW, again with M badges. So is this an M5 or is it the M535i? M535i it is. Followed by the Peugeot 205 GTI, a 1.9 car. Nissan Figaro to the right. And a Ford Cougar. It's a while since I've seen one of those at a show. One of those rapidly disappearing cars. The Pontiac Fiero, no less. The Spitfire Mark IV. 1296cc, followed by a TR7 Dropper Coupe. Granada. Beauty of an RM here, two-tone. Riley RM. Chevy 3100 5-window cab pickup, half-ton rated. Might have to check to see what this is, a Midas perhaps. Jaguar Mark II, or again a 240 or a 340. Mark III Mini. Morning. Escort Mark III. A Humber Scepter. The old Arrow series car. A Fiat Strada Cabriolet, no less. What a fantastic car that is. I don't remember seeing one of those since the 1980s. Jaguar XJ6, I say, actually it's a Daimler, isn't it? It's the Daimler version of the XJ40. Next up, pre-war Austin. This is an Austin 10-4, 1932 to 1934, the chrome rad car, replaced by the Litchfield. Bright red R129 series Mercedes SL. Several more classics from the BMC stable, beginning with the Wolseley 1500, quite an early one, smaller front lights, an A35, fantastic van with windows, a little, very nice little Riley elf there as well. Oh, look at this beautiful Morris Oxford Estate, an all steel Oxford Estate, how cool is that? I remember my uncle who used to live in, or my great uncle who used to live in mid Wales, there was one of those dumped on the verge outside for years. I often wonder what happened to it. The hot rodded Ford there. Oh yeah, that Oxford wagon, that is very, very nice indeed. Little Singer, Hillman Imp, Astra, 3 Series Beamer, Welsh registration on it. Recreation of the famous Jeep. The mighty Pontiac. The Pontiac Trans Am. BMW Z4 Coupe. Behind that, a great little Austin A30 two-door saloon in green. Very bonny little car, that one. 803cc. And a Citroën Acadian behind that. Morning. Very familiar engine note, just like the 2CV we saw before. The man with the fourgonette. Fourgonette, of course, is the name for the little Citroën vans. We'll have a look at that one later. The Talbot Sunbeam. That looks like a bit of a hoot. Somewhat lowered four-door Escort Mark II. A two-door Escort behind that, quite a late one on a V-plate. The RS alloys.
Same age as me, 1980.
1980, is it? Same age as you. Golf GTI Mark II with the big bumpers. RS 2000, also on a V. Very nice too. Got the fishnet Recaro seats in that one. Straight cut gears, I can hear from a mile away on this great little Mini. Behind the Jaguar we have a Rover Streetwise from 2003. Who remembers these? Quite a rare variant of the old Rover 200. Slightly raised ride height. Big plastic cladding down the side and on the front and back as well. And the Rover 800 Saloon, 820 SI, quite an early one that is actually. Pre-facelift. Mighty Chrysler, McLaren, Mercedes, and the Capri 2, effectively the Mark II version of the fabulous Ford Capri. Citroën Saxo behind that. The Corsa GSI. Ford P100. Behind that, two-door Ford Escort Mark 1. I know someone who'll like that. Vauxhall Cavalier Mark 1 behind that. SAAB Cabriolet and a Mark 1 Ford Fiesta. Morris Minor just coming into view on the left here, so yeah, real convoy of classics coming in now. Great pair of Morris Minors there. One the Traveller, the other two-door saloon. Somewhat modified Sprite or Midget. Fiat Coupe, another Rover 800 behind it, a facelift with a different grille. Let's have a wander up here past the Jeep with trailer, and what is that in the trailer? A BSA no less. BSA C10, another 7 Series Beamer, the E38. Keep going along here, I think there's some members of the public mixing it now with the older cars that go into the display area, an Escort there. Mark II Cortina 4-door, row style wheels. Morning. Got Honda, we've got a kit car here. Great on a day like this. Have to watch where I walk. Yeah, coming in from all directions now. Pretty groovy split window VW there from 1967. With a late 50s Chevy pickup behind that. Flare side pickup body. The Audi Quattro will make that 2. Burbly 5-cylinder engines. Very distinctive exhaust note they've got. Talking of distinctive exhaust notes, I can hear over my shoulder a scooter. There's no mistaking that. Oh, wow, how clean is that pickup? Glad that's not parking next to ours today. Very, very nice. Big V8 engine, left-hand drive, of course. Twin tanks as well. Escort RS Cosworth. Another lovely 3500S, that'll be the manual gearbox. Yeah, very, very nice too. That's on an end, so it's quite a late one, the P6. Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Stainless exhaust, just to add to the burble. Henley's supplier sticker in the back window as well. Again, we'll have a closer shufty at that one just a little bit later on once all the arrivals are here. But I always like to try and capture. Ooh, very nice Alpha. Little Julius saloon, 4-door saloon, twin cam engine. But yeah, as I was saying, I always like to capture some of the arrivals because this way you get to see them moving, you hear them. A Giulia TI Super, no less. There's a Lotus Elise. The Reliant Scimitar SS1. Very cool. 1600 on a D, so about 1986 is the date of that one. Fiberglass body, very, very distinctive wedgy styling, quite angular. Very, very 1980s. Burbly SAAB. These also have a fantastic exhaust note as well, a 16-valve turbo. Wonder if he wants to do a swap. SLK. Looks like it might belong to someone called Vince. Mark 1 Mondeo behind that. Getting a bit scarce now, the Volvo 340GL. Originally a DAF design. 3-litre Stag, a 3-litre Stag, slightly different colours, both roof down, both Mark IIs, both coping with the slight queue to get in this morning. It's a hot day, it's getting hotter. I'm quite glad to be under the shadow, or the shade rather, of these trees. Yeah, those two sound beautiful. Of course, manual or autos were available. Skip the moderns. Oh, another Stag and another Stag. I did see a trio of Stags heading the opposite direction to the direction I was coming in this morning, so I wondered if maybe they were off to meet up somewhere before arriving all together. Oh, certainly is a beautiful day and a fantastic setting for this car gathering. Oh, the Renault 16. We like a classic Renault. Very, very cool indeed. What a clean car, what a great design, so stylish. That one dates to 1969. More 3-litre V8 woofliness. MGTF, mid-engine of course they are, the K-series engine, the Audi A2. These are quite a neat little design, I think. I think Audis back then were quite interesting, some of them. These and the early TTs. More Stag goodness. Mark II alloy wheels. Honda Type R. Replica Ferrari behind the blue Stag. Keep out of the way because convoys are converging. Yep, really nicely turned out replica here based on the Z3. A-plate Quattro, so about 1983-ish, four-wheel drive. These took the rally world by storm when they came out, rendering all the rear-wheel drive rally cars of the day pretty much useless. The Morgan here, great array of badges on the front. I'll have to have a look later to see what this is. A JDM, hardly would have known what this is, but at this very moment in time it escapes me. Maybe there'll be a clue on the back. A Toyota Crown Estate. The Stag, a couple of bikes. Another Lotus Elise. To make sure nothing comes from this direction and catches me unawares. Oh, there's one of the short wheelbase Quattros over there, the red one. You can just see it behind the Golf Estate. Lotus Elan, the M100. Morning. Front wheel drive is Isuzu Power. The Gilburn. Hey, there's the Welsh Dragon. Which one's this one then? Which
Invader Mark II.
Invader Mark II, is it? Very nice too. Yeah, Wales's finest. Gilburn was a collaboration between a German chap and a Welsh chap, and they were all built in Wales. Oh, there's that short wheelbase Quattro. So here's a gentleman that watched. Hey? So what is it? Magentis, right. I don't want to hold you up.
20 left on road.
Only 20 on the road? Ooh, we'll have a look later. Another follower of the OCC channel. Says I'm a legend. Not sure about that. And the Ponton Mercedes. Very appropriate registration. 220 UIJ, the 220 Mercedes. Late 1950s. Unofficially called the Ponton series. Very nice too. Real quality car, that. What a beauty that is. I do like an old saloon. That's actually a 190. I was fooled slightly by the number plate there, but yeah, what a handsome machine that is. Lotus Esprit Turbo. Got an X300 Jaguar over the back there. Reg 454. Private plate on that one. Another Lotus Esprit, very, very low car. MGB Roadster. Little kit car there, three-wheeler, possibly a Lomax, something of that ilk. You can just see the 2CV engine, I think, poking out the front there. Stunning old Rover there, the P5B saloon, complete with headrests in the back, quite unusual. 3.5 litre Rover engine, of course, same as the P6 that we saw before, actually several of the P6s that we saw before. That one's on a K plate, so about 72-ish, that one. I used to have one of those, like an off-white example, just like that. Beautiful car, real quality. Citroen Saxo there. What a magnificent machine that is. Beloved of government ministers in the 70s and right through into the 1980s. People like Harold Wilson would often be seen clambering out of the back of one of those, sucking on his pipe. Margaret Thatcher too was a bit of a fan, as was the late Queen, Queen Elizabeth II. She was a big fan of the old P5B. Somewhat modified Mini-ish, and a Mark 1 Ford Zodiac with sun visor. What a cracker that is. Again, old saloons, I always like an old saloon, especially if it's got a big engine, and that's got the straight six in it. I hope there's nothing behind me because I can't see where I'm going. But yeah, what a cracker that is. Could hear one or two electric fans running. Wow, what are we looking at there? What model is this? A Plymouth Valiant. Ah, right. I thought I hadn't seen one before. Dodge Challengers. Let's keep an eye out for the oldies. I can just see an MG Magnet over the back there. Got a TT modernish one. I think the cut-off for cars at this show is 2008. Yeah, a lovely two-tone MG Magnet, original registration as well. What a beauty that is. Is that the vari-tone with the big back window? Could be. The lightweight Land Rover behind, the MGB GT. Got a trike, Mercedes-Benz 190E. Many VWs. That looks hot in there, unless it's got air conditioning. What on earth is that? Look like Volvo rear lights. Are they off an S40? It's Triumph TR5 with Surrey roof. Lovely fuel injected straight six, 2.5 litre, shared with the later TR6, but there's some beautiful wheels. I love those spoked wheels, more spokes than I think you normally see, possibly larger diameter as well, but that is a stunning looking car. I absolutely love that. And a Jeans Beetle. When I was growing up in the 70s, the old boy who lived across the road from us bought one of those brand new, and I often wondered what happened to it. Had a denim interior. I'm guessing they were all this sort of orangey colour with the very distinctive stripes down the doors, but yeah, I well remember the one he had. He always used to push it in and out of his garage, he'd never drive it. Another lovely one there with Porsche, one of those off a 928 perhaps. Oh, coming from all angles. A few moderns up there. And another Wolseley 1500. This looks like a Japanese import car of some description, a Toyota, but more than that, an Exurb. Ooh, intriguing machine. Another great little Wolseley 1500. A 1489 B series engine, purring away under that bonnet behind the illuminated Wolseley badge on the radiator. Very nice, an early one before they switched to the Austin A40, the Farina backlights. These were much smaller lights on the earlier cars. Fiesta Mark II with roll cage. Lancia Montecarlo. Again, a car, I don't think we've seen this one before anywhere, but we are off our normal patch today, so I was hoping we'd see lots of cars that we haven't seen before. Nissan Figaro behind that, based on the Micra. Very retro styling on that one. Even's got Figaro mud flaps, no less. The Fiat Uno. Let's go over here, find a spot of shade for a moment. Got a bay window camper. Just peeking out from behind the leaves. The Mark 1 VW Golf behind that. Another Capri 2. And the Morris Minor just a little further away with S-Type Jaguar behind that. You have to have eyes in the back of your head. MR2, the late one, Mark III, Peugeot 205, another Capri behind that. This one looks like it's in the JPS livery. A John Player Special. Who remembers that in the 1970s? A Capri GT. What do we have here? The AC3000ME 1985. There's one of these that pops up occasionally round behind the back of a garage not that far from us. Morning. Nice car, very, very rare, little mid-engined AC. You hardly ever see those at the car show, certainly the ones that we get to. Maybe we get to the wrong ones, but yeah, what a treat to see that here today. DB7, Jaguar XK8, Z4 BMW, some modified green MGB GT just over the back there. Really smart Sirocco over there. Great colour for it as well. The classic Mercedes, this time the SLC with a fixed roof and longer wheelbase compared to the SL cousin, the open-topped SL. This has a fixed roof. It's probably a fair bit rarer actually than the 107 SL. Fewer of these have been preserved, I think. And here is one of those earlier TTs. We saw the Audi A2 and the Quattros before. I think these have got a bit of a following now. These early TTs, I think, are really neat looking cars. Still they pour in. The Escort Cabrio, Jaguar, the X350 Jag behind there, and the RS Turbo. And over the back there, with very dark windows, Volvo 240 GLT, the sporty version. At least for the UK market. Other markets did get turbo versions of the old 240s, but this was as pokey as it got here in the UK. No turbos were sold here. MGB Roadster there with a recessed grille, just like Dad's MGB GT, which hopefully we'll see at a few classic car shows before long. There's a 700 series Volvo Estate over there, with a distinctive tone of perhaps a diesel engine, Dr. Diesel's engine under the bonnet of that one. And what do we have here? Rally Runabout. We used to have one of them. Little 50cc or 49cc Moto Bicane engine on a little Rally Runabout. A Mazda RX-7 Cabriolet with pop-up headlamps, in case you hadn't noticed. That's a rare one, that is. Morning. That's pretty cool, that is. Rotary engine, just like that NSU R080 we saw before. And here was me thinking I'd be able to sit down for a minute. Over there, four-door Morris 8 Series 1. That was the replacement for the four-door version of the pre-war Miner. Honda S2000 over there. Yeah, what a great little Morris 918cc side valve 4-cylinder engine. Hydraulic brakes, Austin's at the time, may do with mechanical brakes, but by this point Morris had switched over to hydraulic. Always lovely to see some pre-war cars here. The DeLorean DMC-12, powered by the PRV V6 engine, Peugeot, Renault and Volvo collaboration, the engine under those. Stainless steel bodywork, developed by Lotus, or at least the handling was developed by Lotus, built in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Yeah, there's no mistaking that for anything else really, is there? With a classic American pickup over there, a big Ford with a fleet side body. And behind the modern Kia is a magnificent Rolls Royce, which hopefully we'll get a glimpse of any second now. There it is. Wowzers. What a regal, stately regal machine. That would look perfect parked outside the old hall here down at Thoresby. What a fantastic machine that is. Plenty of room for wearing a hat. Of course, chauffeurs always tended to wear a hat, so the chauffeur would be in the front and the owners would be in the back. Fantastic. The Racing Puma, the souped up version of the Ford Puma. Racing Puma, bigger arches and so on. There's a real enthusiastic following for those now. There's quite a turnout of those at the NEC Classic Car Show, as I remember. That's where we tend to see those. And lovely stately Rover P4, very very nice too. Two-tone grey this one. Nissan Micra over there waves across, Jensen Interceptor. Its mighty Chrysler V8 engine under that long swooping bonnet. Z3 BMW. I used to have a 2.8 one of those. Much modified Ford 100E. Wonder if there are more modified 100Es around than standard now. A magnificent Bentley over there, the S3 Continental. What a handsome machine that is. It'd be great to have a ride in one of those. Pretty much the last of the coach built Rolls Royces, the Silver Cloud, and this, the Bentley S3, replaced by the Silver Shadow in Rolls Royce's case, named the T Series for the Bentley version. And that replaced the car that you see there. Stunning Datsun 240Z. I do like these a lot. There was a lovely racing example of these at Alton Park just last weekend. Great styling, nice beefy 6-cylinder engine on that bonnet, but surely one of the best looking Japanese cars of all time. Well, that Mazda Cosmo we saw at Bicester was pretty bonkers. Behind that, Escort Mark II 1600 Sport, and an Audi or NSU of some description. I'll have to have a closer look at that one. The Triumph TR3A. Here we've got a GTM. My uncle built one of the very first ones of those, the Cox GTM, in the early 1970s. Not sure what these are based on. The GTM Libra. Yeah, the early ones were mini based, engine in the back, well, behind the seat, so technically mid-engine, I guess. Something for the shy and retiring amongst us. And this is the second example of the E493A Prefect we've seen today. Will we see any standard Ford Pop 103Es? We saw the hot rods before. Will we see any original spec ones, I wonder? Prefect are well represented. Windscreen open, get a bit of ventilation. Again, great to see the original registration number on that one too. So that's got the 1172cc engine, same as the Pop 103E. A very swanky Maserati 3200 Cabriolet over there. Very nice indeed. First of the BMC Farinas I think we've seen today. The Austin A50 Cambridge. It's a fairly early one. Sister car to the Morris Oxford, I suppose. And there's all the other different badge engineered versions as well, but this is the original A60 Cambridge. Very nice example too. Nice to see one with the correct sills on with the jacking points. Often you see them where they've had the sills replaced and the jacking points have disappeared. So that's nice to see one as it should be. Another Mark 1, that's what we like to see. A few extra bits and bobs on that one. The BMW 2002 or similar, that's quite a late one with the rectangular backlights, the 2002 Tii. Very nice 3-door turbo. The TVR Tamora, followed by the 8-valve 900 turbo. You see the little APC badge on the tailgate. That was automatic performance control. It was designed to remap the engine dependent on the octane of fuel you were running your car on. So that was quite advanced for the day, early 1980s. Very original looking 4-door Morris Minor there, and the 2-door Moggy behind that. Great to see those two. Another Datsun Z, is that the 280ZX? I think. Behind the bay window camper we have a very rare Toyota. Is that a Cressida? It is a Cressida. I often get these wrong. Yeah, that's a rare old girl, that one. And quite a few Figaros here today, as I'm sure you will have noticed. Let me know in the comments which of the cars seen here today you would like to drive home in. Perhaps you're even in this show somewhere. Are one of these cars yours? If so, say hello in the comments. It's always good to hear from owners of these cars, whether the example's shown or if you own something similar. Maybe you've got one in pieces in your garage and you're hoping to get it out to shows like this in the near future. Let me know, let us know. It's always really neat to read your thoughts about these cars. Another aluminium bodied Jaguar XJ Mark II Golf GTI on its tail. Fiesta ST. Triumph TR7 drophead, another drophead version of the TR7, quite a late one. So that's a Canley built car, the very early one to have built in Speak over on the Wirral. Nissan GTR, Harley likes those, they do sound good. MGB Roadster, also sounding magnificent today, beautiful bright red example. Wowzers. Not a speck of dust on that one. Another one of the aluminium bodied XJs. Now I know I've seen this S-Class Mercedes somewhere before because Maybe this was the car that I was commenting on, saying about how a lot of these cars didn't even have a passenger door mirror as standard. Maybe it was this car we were looking at, but these are stunning cars, beautifully made. It's 1970s, late 70s in this case, Mercedes S-Class. Another S-Type Jaguar, and a great little Mini behind that. Staffordshire registered, EH, somewhere around Stafford or Stoke, somewhere around there originally. Now there's a car you don't see all that often, the old A40 or A50 Cambridge. I'm not quite sure which one that is because they both look pretty much identical. Pre-A55, so that'll be 1200 or 1500 depending on whether it's the A40 or the A50. Yeah, a treat to see that one, and again it's got its proper registration on it, which is great to see. Ah yes, it's an A50 with tow bar. Perfect for a spot of camping of a weekend. The silky purr of the 5.3 litre V12 Jaguar, the Series 3 E-Type. Very swish machine. Make that two very swish machines. And over there in the queue is a Chrysler Crossfire. These were based on the early Merc SLKs. Another mighty S-Class Mercedes. This is the replacement to the yellow car we just saw a couple of minutes ago. This is the W126 Saloon. I well remember these. Dad had one of these for a while. He had the 5 litre V8, the 500 SEL. There were various different engine options, V8 and straight 6. Which one we're looking at here, I'm not quite sure because they all look pretty much identical. You often have to have a look at the badge on the boot just to get an idea of what engine you're looking at in the particular car. Of course, some of them have been debadged, in which case you're left guessing. But yeah, again, mighty impressive car. And behind that, another Austin A30 Saloon. That looks pretty neat on midget wheels, the old row style wheels. That's produced by Rubery Owen, hence RO style, RO style or row style. I know someone who would like that. Five-cylinder Volvo, super little DAF over there with the CVT transmission. And Mark II Vauxhall Astra here. Ford Escort, of course. Getting a bit warm for the Escort over the back there, just cooling off. Bit of a queue to get in. Got a Vauxhall Omega here. Or is it Omega? Which one? And just peeking, peering into view. Mark I Escort Estate. Always good to see the non-performance Escort and cars like that being preserved. Often it's the fast ones, the quick ones, the rally ones, and so on, which get to be saved first. It's great to see these ones that more people can actually associate with. MGF roof down, MGB GT roof open, Beetle with period roof rack as well. We approve of those. Behind the Astra Cabriolet, an MGC with a 3 litre 6-cylinder engine under that humped aluminium bonnet. Slightly larger diameter wheels compared to the MGB, but otherwise pretty similar to look at. Apart from you've got a beautiful 6-cylinder soundtrack with this car, as opposed to the throaty burble of the B series, the 1800B series, which of course is the engine that powered the MGB, but this has got the C series engine in it, and very, very smooth it is too. Immaculate Ford Cortina Mark III, the GXL. And over there, Mini City, circa 1982. Serious set of wheels on that Range Rover. The Lotus Elise in the foreground, in the background the Mitsubishi Starion. Not a car you see all that often nowadays. TVR 450 SE. Gliding in as if on a cushion of air, the mighty Cadillac '59 Caddy. There's the second Mark IV Spitfire we've seen today. It's definitely getting a bit warm. This Mark II Escort's coasting in, engine switched off. Of course, then you risk the chance of a bit of fuel vaporization when you go to start it again. The little Mini over there, the maroon one, looks very much like a Mini 30, produced in, well, 1989 to celebrate 30 years of Mini production. I'm almost certain that's what we're looking at there. One of the many limited edition Minis that were produced over the years. And behind the Morgan, the lesser spotted Morris Marina Pickup, no less. That's it, first one. First one.
Hey, there's only 4 left on road in country.
Is there 4 left? Wow. Certainly a very rare sight. Another 5 Series BMW, the E28. Judging by the wheels, is this a 518? Could be like an entry-level model. Hopefully it hasn't been debadged, so we'll get the answer on the back. If it is the 518, it's the 4-cylinder car. Or is it a 6? Sounds nice, whatever it is. Yes, the 518. Yep, I think we'll head back to the main showground area, possibly have a look at the auto jumble section, and go and grab a brew back at the car. If it's that kind of day.
touring car. Yeah, we've done Ireland, Scotland, France, Europe. Yeah.
It's certainly a lot easier to find a bright yellow little car when there were very few cars here at all, but now it's kind of lost. I know it's somewhere over there, section F, so we'll head in that direction, go and have a brew, and then think about having a walk around the parked up cars. I can just see a glowing yellow orb in the distance. Try not to trip over the guy lines. Past these classic BMWs. And I think, unless it's another identical car of course, I think this is ours just parked over here with another one alongside it. So there's that Skyline that came in, and there's that other one parked next to us. It is officially bagel o'clock. All the stags have congregated in one place now. Some roofs down, some with these sort of protective roof covers, presumably just to stop the seats getting too hot. In fact, I've never seen these before. No hard tops at all in evidence today here in the stag enclosure. I guess the place to start is the back row, headed up by this Ford Ranger pickup. I mean, that's 21 years old now. So let's carry on down here past the 190E and a 6-cylinder Jaguar XJ, and it appears to be for sale. That's on an M plate. X300 Sports, the 6-cylinder car. No mention of price. Funnily enough, I did notice a V8 Sport just the other day, looking like it might need a new home. So I may be making a few inquiries about that before the week is over. But this is the predecessor, the 6-cylinder car. I wonder what sort of money that is. Next to that, TVR Chimera. I see plenty of those at the Old Piggery Cafe, the Combermere meeting that we go to. And there's that immaculate MGB Roadster with matching Lucas Fog Ranger lamps on the front. Still a few arrivals. We appear to be in the American corner. Got a Plymouth Roadrunner here and a mighty F100 with its cavernous load bay. Oh, you could live in there. And the burble behind me tells me that pickup is on its way in. Short bed, flare side pickup Chevy. It's on a 64 registration, which looks about right. The slightly other ones had the wraparound windscreens, but this is the replacement for that model, I believe. I like the taco on the top of the column. Racy bonnet pins. There goes the pickup again. We go past the Mustang GT500 and the Pontiac Trans Am. And this, the Pontiac Fiero. You don't see these very often at all. Bit of everything here. Not quite sure what we're looking at. It's very shiny. If the size of the carburettor's on that. And here, the Ford. Later gauges, steering column, probably power steering. A ginormous engine. There's this incredible wagon we saw coming in before. What a beautiful chrome on this. So the paintwork is sort of rat rod look, but the chrome has all been done. I bet that cost a pretty penny. Great looking machine. Yes, it's cool. No, I'm not going to paint it. I could do with a set of those printing up for our old pickup. Because occasionally we get asked if we're going to paint it sometime. To which the answer is always no. There we go, California, 56 Chevrolet V8. Just great detailing. These light clusters, the shape of the bumpers, the badging. The curvy wraparound rear side windows just like on the F-Type Victor and the Humber Hawk Estates. There's that Chrysler LeBaron that came in before. Yeah. Pretty cool bit of kit this. Just want a surfboard on the roof. A mighty Chrysler Cordoba. Handily dated on the plate there. 1978. What a machine. There's that stunning pickup, late 50s Chevrolet that we saw pulling in before. Really clean example, that one. Lovely jubbly. Couple of Dodges, Hemi powered. The engine in these it's kind of related to the 5.7 Hemi that we've got in the Grand Cherokee at home. Although for how much longer that will stay with us, I'm not quite sure. I think we may let that one go, we'll have to see. There's that Plymouth Valiant, it's a 64 convertible. Not entirely sure what we're looking at here, much modified, whatever it is. And over here the 59, the mighty, super impressive 1959 Cadillac. What a crazy big car this is. Okay, next row, next to the SL, MGTF, Mark 1 MX5, or is it? It's probably a Unos, one of the import cars. The badge is slightly different on the front, but to all intents and purposes, it's a Mark 1 MX5, the NA series. You've got the Maserati over here. Quite a few later cars here, so we'll just skip along. The Z3, later MX5. I think the cars get older as the more we go over that way, so that is the direction we will head in. We'll just have a quick scoot around here just to see what there is. V6 Pop. There's the dolly. The old slant 4 Triumph engine. A variety of kit cars here, the Porsche behind. Lots of retro cars here, modern classics.
It's a stunning car, very, very professional.
The 105E, we didn't see this one coming in before.
And then we've got the MG Magnet next to it. We mentioned the Hill.
One of the cars that really suit Mini Light wheels.
And again, very, very popular car. Way back. Go back to
The Honda Integra. A VTEC double overhead cam engine. Not dissimilar to that in our Honda Accord estate. Volvo 850 wagon. Let's carry on down here, 300ZX, Merc, fast forward, V8 Jaguar Saloon, the XJ8. So these came out with a 3.2 or the 4 litre V8 engine. And of course there's the XJR, the supercharged version, which was based on the 4 litre only. Lots of people argue, was the previous X300 the better bet, or was this the better one? Answers on the postcard please. These are arguably more powerful. I prefer the interior, I think, in these later cars. But the straight 6 engine in the X300s were, by all accounts, a tougher unit compared to the later V8 unit, there was a few fragile aspects to the V8 engines, which they're all easily fixable as long as you fix them before they go bang. I've got a great TVR S series here, very nice S2, yeah, very nice too. We've got another V8 XJ, so we can have a look under the bonnet of this one, 3.2. Let's have a look around here. How clean is that? For sale, 8,500, 25,000 miles from new. That's one clean looking car. They often rot down here behind the front wheels and the forward ends of the sills, to name just one spot where they're a bit prone to the tin worm. Right, we've got a couple of Audis there. There's that little Nova. Z3 BMW, built in the US of A. There's the Elan, and there's that Rover 800, the 820 SI, quite an early one. So let's have a bit of a wander around this one, because this is a car that you don't see very often. I've never seen this example before, but yeah, wow, look at that. Twin cam, 16 valve. How clean is that? Good grief. That's a stunning condition, especially being red, because red always seems to fade more than any other colour. And the interior is super clean. You can just see in through the gap in the window there. Yeah. Yeah, a very rare survivor. There's a little Rover Streetwise next to the 800. There's that fabulous SAAB that we saw coming in before, the 16 valve. Now this has got the slopey front. I was talking about slopey front versus flat front. This is a slopey front 900, the later one. I'm not sure where the earlier flat front is parked up, but I'm sure we'll find it. So these are the 16 valve cars, 175 brake as opposed to the 145 brake horsepower of the 8 valve cars. Yeah, great car that, the Fiat Coupe alongside. Sierra 2-litre GL. Got a snap of this one coming in before. Maybe you remember Ford Sierras.
The turnout's been absolutely brilliant so far, but let's keep it going.
205 Peugeot, the Spitfire 1500, the last of the Spitfires, introduced in 1962. Produced right the way through till what, about 80, 81 perhaps. This is quite a late one. Still clearly a Spitfire, but they did completely reskin these when they went from the Mark III to the Mark IV and the almost identical 1500. There's that Mini 30 edition. Tinted glass, fancy wheels, pretty groovy. Let's carry on down here. There's a little Honda. Is this a Concerto? I'm going to have to cheat, I'm afraid, folks, and go around the back and just have a look at the badge. This is the Honda version, yes, the Concerto, similar to the Rover 200. Always good to see these rare survivor cars at events like this. It's getting on a bit now, it's on an L plate, so well into the 1990s, which is quite an alarmingly long time ago now.
You can put them on a policy with your everyday cars as well, so literally you can have everything together.
Mini City, very original looking, that one. And the Astra, is this a GSI? So that's the Mark III Astra, isn't it? BMW, the 518, the 4-cylinder 518 is just negotiating into a parking space. They've got a Cavalier 4x4. That's actually quite unusual, another Cavalier alongside that. There's a little Polo G40, the Astra Mark II, and the Escort 1600 Sport. Very bonny little Nova, Mini Cooper.
Yeah.
Lots of people having their lunch, so we won't interrupt. Ah, there is that flat-fronted SAAB turbo. Very neat. You don't see too many of these around. Yeah, that takes me back. Those are the SE alloy wheels, as I remember. Yeah. Could definitely see one of these back in the OCC fleet one day. As well as Dad having a very early one that I mentioned before in previous videos. His was a 79. We had an 85 8-valve turbo. And there's that APC badge that I was pointing out as the cars were driving in before. So this is the 16-valve. This whale tail spoiler was an optional extra. That wasn't a standard fitting. All the brochures. Oh, there you go. Automatic performance control. Yeah. It's great to see that here today. And over here, that Fiat Strada. The Fiat Strada Cabriolet. What an unusual car that is. With a fixed rollover bar, just like a Stag.
How long have you owned it? Everybody wanted one. 7 years.
Brace of Escorts, and here's that AC 3000 ME. Like I say, there's a blue one of these that pops up locally from time to time. Last spotted round the back of a commercial garage just a few miles from us. Don't know if it's still there. Very shallow doors, very deep sills. Mid-engined.
You never know, do you?
Oh, well, we know of other cars that are in various states of restoration.
Jaguar XJ filler caps.
Hardest to get past is 1970.
I couldn't stop it. I couldn't stop when I went to
Mark II.
It's a Mark II, but it's still looking brilliant, in good condition. Now, your next
Not this year, yeah. So you're real
Volvo 240 GLT alongside the Escort Cabriolet. The Peugeot 205 Mardi Gras limited edition. Another Mini 123 Merc that we saw moments after we got here this morning. These two classic Mercedes parked up together. They've got an MG Metro Turbo.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to get parts for it actually.
Metro van, the Austin 310 van.
bringing it into the arena. It's great to see it here today.
It's the RS 1600i and the Scimitar. There's that Alpha GTV, and I was wondering whether it's the V6 or not, but I think it is. There we go. The Busso V6 engine. The bonny little Honda CRX Coupe. Very few of these left. Just look at that engine accessibility. How easy is that to work on? Got the fuel injection at the back there. Distributor perched up nice and high, nice and easy to get to. So changing the plug leads on these, or indeed the spark plugs themselves, doesn't look like too much of a mission. So we're working our way down the field to some of the slightly older vehicles now. We've got a split window VW camper. There's that fantastic Marina Pickup that we saw driving in 1975. It's got the early front on it. And that Toyota Cressida. When did you, I know I keep saying this, but when did you last see one of those? I vaguely remember these in the 1980s, early 80s. But what a rare old girl to see now. Let's have a peer inside. Automatic box. Sony CHF 60 cassette tapes. Who remembers recording and making up their own music cassettes? Recording off the radio, off the wireless. All that kind of thing. But just look how clean the interior is in this. How has this survived? Alongside that, 2002 TII BMW. Very nice too. Just keep going over here. There's that Cavalier Mark 1. It's an automatic Cavalier Mark 1, no less. That's got to be unusual now. I like the old dealer sticker in the back window, all the little details. The Suzuki Auto Home. Very neat. There's the jeans Beetle. Can we see the denim interior? And the Morris 1800. Wowzers. Oh, we saw this one driving in before. Complete with British Leyland mud flaps, no less.
Another decade. So we say goodbye to the 60s, and then we bring into the equation now, into the arena, 1970.
Another car designed by Alec Isagonis, he of the post-war Morris Minor, and the Mini and the 1100s. And this, which is basically a grown-up 1100. It's as if he put it on the photocopier and typed in 150% and print, and that's how you end up with a Land Crab, which is probably oversimplifying things a little bit, but you get the idea. Big transverse engine in these particular cars. There's that Herald 1360 convertible.
Come on, let's have the cars in as many as we can get.
It's got a Z-Tech, it's got a Ford Z-Tech engine in this one. So the 1296 4-pot is long gone. Quite a tight fit next to the suspension tower there. The NSU. And there's the rotary engine. There's not much to recognise in here, apart from the coil.
Van, pickup coming in. Mark II Escort coming in.
Amazing car.
The Morris pickup.
It's up for sale.
Based on the Marina, I think. Hopefully, got it right. The Escort Mark.
Great styling, very distinctive looking car these. There's the Van den Plas 1300. Looks like a really nice example.
Hey, they're coming in
Fiat.
to Bath. This is brilliant.
The 595 at Bath.
The arena has been tremendous. Fabulous little Beetle come in. Let's had some exotic paintwork done to it, by the looks of it. On the
Mini,
side,
Stag, there's that S-Class,
some graphics.
Moggy Traveller, matching pair of Series 3 E-Types, the V12s. Of course, by this point in time, the E-Types were either roadsters or fixed head coupe 2+2s. And these are both fixed head coupe 2.2s, 2+2s, as you can see here. Much longer doors compared to the coupes of old, the earlier cars, 6-cylinder cars. Jensen's off as well. It's had a leap added. Rivals in the day, the MG Midget and the Triumph Spitfire. Of course, the ultimate irony was the very last examples of the Midget had the Spitfire engine, the 1500 engine. Wonder how that went down with MG aficionados at the time.
Right, start with
Anyway, let's carry on down this road. We've got a JBA Falcon,
Very, very low at the
the
moment.
Moggy
I
1000.
think it's touching the ground, but clearly when you get in it,
There's
you can
that super
raise.
little Morris pickup.
You've had a lot of work done to this.
I won't repeat myself explaining the differences under the skin between these and the saloons and the Woodies, but suffice to say there are many, many differences.
Looking one. I don't know, I like his moustache.
There's that Subaru.
Yeah, well, but now this is absolutely unbelievable.
Is this a Granada or is it the earlier Consul Granada?
That's out of this world, isn't it? But this is
have a
again
quick
something different. Now you can
peek
lower
round the back.
suspension. Now I'm not quite sure what this graphic
Yes, it's the Consul L.
That's a clean car.
Yeah, good looking car, big brother to the Cortina of course.
Parcel shaft done in it, and then I had it screen printed in the frame so I could have the exterior done.
The interior is a tartan roof lining. All the inside is cream. It's absolutely immaculate. But how long would it take? Has it taken you to come to the ordinary
Lotus Elan Plus 2, much longer car compared to your regular Elans Plus 2 because it's got a couple of little seats in the back. Admittedly, you'd have to be fairly compact in the knee department, but
Is that all? I can't believe it.
It's the elan for the family man or woman of the day. Let's go around here, try not to get in anyone's photos. Beautiful red RS 2000.
Family challenge, actually.
Real variety of cars down this row. We've got a Porsche 928, fairly early example with the checker trim.
Same as that, is that?
I think it's absolutely brilliant. Now,
Just pop-up headlamps on these, but they sort of come wallop like that. So they look quite funny when the lamps are up.
between you've got two incredible vehicles.
Scoot down here past the Escort, the VW Corrado, and on the end here, the Mark III Cortina based V6 powered pickup, the Ford pickup. This one imported from South Africa. Now we're getting over to my favourite corner of the field, the older cars. Got an early 70s MGB GT, complete with Webasto roof, an Austin Healey Sprite Mark 1, based very much on the Austin A35 948 engine in them both. These are twin carbs, and this great little sporty body, rear hinged, so whereas the Herald and the Spitfire tipped forward, these ones sort of go back. You just have to make sure you don't crack your head when you're working under the bonnet. And the fantastic Humber Scepter. How nice is that? Contemporary of and based on the Hillman Super Minx. This one on a B plate, so that makes this one 1964. Very sleek looking car, Humber Scepter. And of course there was the Singer Vogue, which was very similar as well. Both of them plusher up more at market versions of the Super Minx. And Roots always had really nice interiors, I always think. Quite sporty. Got the cowled gauges, lots of gauges in the centre there, lots of switches. Those befits the sporting variant, I guess. Or certainly the more upmarket version. Yeah, great looking car that is. Where did we see those rear lights recently? Oh yes, that Bristol we saw down at Bicester Heritage. I knew I'd seen those lamps before somewhere. This Zodiac is super original, the Mark III Zodiac, 6-cylinder car. That's a really tasty preservation job. Wheels obviously not original, but yeah, what a great old car. Huge bench seats. Yet again, a car we've never clapped eyes on before at all the shows we've been to date. Look at this VW here. Bonnets up on the Morris 1000 showing off its A-Series engine. Such a flexible engine, this one. All sorts of different capacities over the years, fitted in so many different cars. First made its debut in the A30 of the early 1950s. Overhead valve, and of course in the Minis they turned it round, fitted it transversely and put the gearbox underneath. So it's incredible. And then in later years as the A+, which was like a revised version of the A-Series, it featured in Metros and the Austin Maestro and even some of the Montegos, the small engine versions of the Montegos. So it had an incredible production run, this engine. Here, the DKW F102. What a rare car this is.
Look up in the sky.
It's a pit special, doing some aerobatics. What a great car this is.
He's only done that, you know, so he could come in here.
Look at the shape of these lamps here. Little 3-cylinder engine. Right, well, we'll carry on, fellow YouTubers, with the Morris and the Datsun back there. Right, we've got the Bentley S3, the magnificent Bentley. What a handsome machine that is. The TR5, bonnet raised, fuel injection system. Supercar. And there's that P5B, another beautiful, very handsome machine. And the Mercedes Ponton. Good chance to have a peer in and admire the interior of this great old Merc. Reminds me a bit of the old Volvo Amazons. MGB GT in a fetching shade of maroon. And this incredible car here, which I'm still none the wiser.
It is, yeah. Today's the best day because I think tomorrow's going to be really full of rain.
So what is it?
It's a one-off car that I designed
Sorry.
and built a few years ago.
You designed and built it?
Yeah. It's based on a Phantom, the McDonnell Douglas Phantom.
Oh right, yeah, the F4.
And in the late 60s, they were coming into RAF service and I saw one at an air show.
Yeah.
And I thought, right, that looks pretty good. So when I retired, I thought, we'll have a go at making a sort of a cartoon version of the Phantom because they're very big.
They are, yes.
And so this is what you see. And it
This
took
is
me
what you
about
end up with.
7 years of hard graft
I'll
and
bet, yeah.
thinking, going down the pub thinking, why am I bothering?
I was speculating, are they Volvo backlights? They are S40s, aren't
I
they?
bought those before I did the design because I rather like them. So that dictated the shape of the back because they're curved both that way as well as that way. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible, that is.
The cockpit's probably the most difficult thing.
I'll bet it was. So inspired by the F4.
Yes, the F4. That's called the F4. There's the logo on the back.
Oh, is that where it came from? Was it? Yes, I saw the badge on the back. Isn't that incredible? Oh, thanks for the info. What an incredible machine. Inspired by the McDonnell Douglas F4 Phantom. And there's the Wolseley 1500 in grey. Very handsome motor car. Sunbeam Tiger, the V8 power. Visually very similar to the Sunbeam Alpine, but very different otherwise. And another Tiger alongside it. Good heavens, two for the price of one. And here on the end, the Jensen Interceptor. And carrying on around the older car area, there's this beautiful P6 3.5 litre in this very fetching shade of orange. That is really tasty looking car, that is. 65 E-Type fixed head coupe, Series 1. Riley Elf. And I was talking about transverse A-Series engines, well there is one. Moggy Traveller for sale, 5,995. That doesn't look bad. Oh, very nice. The Triumph Herald. So is this the 1250? The 1250 came with the Webasto roof as standard. Of course, this could just be a regular Herald that's had a Webasto roof fitted later. It's a 66 registration. So let's have a look, see what it is. Yeah, it is a 1250. Built by Standard Triumph. Standard took over Triumph following the Second World War. 1147cc engine. So that was a slightly enlarged version of the engine that made its debut in the Standard 8 and then the 10. Have a quick peer in. Look, it's still got the plastic covers on the seats. Wow, what an incredible interior. Even the doors have still got the covers on. Oh, what a beautiful example of the Herald 1250. And alongside the Herald we've got a Stag, also with hardtop and Union Jack. Like that. Like that a lot. Bright red MGB GT, chrome grille, Morris Minor 1000, a two-door Moggy 1000. What year is this one? It's a J, so it's about 71. Capri 2.8i, the SL Mercedes, the R107. And here we've got the Triumph TR3A, very similar to the TR3, but these gained outside door handles and a slightly wider grille. It's still badged as TR3. Great looking little car there. Another example of the Vanden Plas 1300, very plush. Dad had one of these a few years ago. Super low mileage, lovely picnic tables in the back. Very comfy car. This is a kind of car that people who previously maybe had big old Rovers, that kind of thing, when they retired, they still wanted a bit of luxury, but slightly more economical to run, lower running costs. So some of this would have fitted the bill really just perfectly. Another very bonny Moggy Traveller there. The blue one here. A much modified, lowered roof Cortina Mark II. Many Webers. 66 E-Type. E-Type Roadster. MGB Roadster. Is this a 240 or a 340? One of the two. Very, very late Mark II. Let's have a look. So this is the 240. Great looking car. There's a little A35 van with added side windows. It was a common mod back in the day. Dodge a bit of purchase tax if you bought a van and fitted windows in the back, as opposed to buying the Countryman version to begin with. How nice is that? It's got a BMC Drivers Club badge. That was an organisation for drivers of like BMC lorries, the Austins, the Morrises, the FGs, that kind of thing. Again, A-series engine, but pointing fore and aft, just like a Moggy, the Morris Minor. Very nice indeed. This one's been converted to an SU carburettor. I think originally would have been a little Zenith, just like we had on our A40. Yeah, super clean car, that. Very, very nice indeed. O'Reilly Elf over here. A pair of imps. Well, this is a Singer. There's 65 on the end here. Well, it's basically a revamped, rebadged Hillman imp with a TR3A. A very fetching shade of powder blue. A Cortina Mark II. Euro style wheels like those fitted to the 1600E. There's a Beetle on manoeuvres at the back there. Let's just carry on down here. Very sharp looking Mini, single carb. This is the one with the little, oh, it's got a slidey window, so it's a Mark II, I think. Twin tanks, Mini Cooper S Mark II. It's very purposeful with those wider wheel arches fitted to it. I thought normally these are on twin SUs, but maybe this has just got a single larger SU fitted. Yeah. Great looking little car. I do love these lamps with the covers on, I think they look fantastic. Split window VW here, and the Alpha Giulia Saloon. P6 on mini lights, 3500S, so manual gearbox, V8 engine. The old Lucas Square 8 lamps fitted beneath the front bumper. There's the Reliant SS1 on a D reg, so about 1986 this one I suspect. A paddock pass for racing at Spa in 2011. Reliant Scimitar SS1. And there is that Renault 16 that we saw driving in before. Very handsome machine. Engine set well back in the engine bay. Enough room to have your spare wheel and tin of oil in the front. Yeah. Lovely looking car, that. Here is that A50 Cambridge we saw driving in a little while ago now. 1622cc. That's penned by Pininfarina on behalf of BMC, the British Motor Corporation. The big Farina Cambridges came out in 1959. The A55 Cambridge Mark II with the big fins. And then the fins were truncated somewhat. Slightly larger engine fitted, and we ended up with the A60.
He used to pinch it from my dad and pick it out.
But a few of you watching this particular video remember owning one of these. These used to be everywhere. What a beauty this one is. Here's the little Ford Anglia, the E494A. Well, it's badged up as a Popular, just to throw me, but it's got Anglia hubcaps on it. It's got the chrome bumpers of an Anglia, but it's badged up as a Popular. Of course, the pops, to open them, the Anglia has like a proper little handle on the boot. These, you have like a little T key, so you have to flip that up, put the T key in. It's what I call a budget lock. So yeah, so at first glance it does look like an Anglia, but when we peer inside, the Anglia would have had a Bakelite dash. But this, the Pop 103E, has the plain metal press jobby. Of course, the lamps are bigger on the Anglia as well. But yes, chrome front bumper as well off the Anglia. So we've got a few Anglia features on this Pop. Got some pretty chunky looking tyres on it as well. In fact, these hubcaps are pre-war. The ones with a Ford script on, which are very attractive, those are off a pre-war Ford, probably a Ford 10 I would have thought. Oh, no, I'm glad this one is still here. I really wanted to have a closer look at this fantastic all-steel Morris Oxford Estate. What a great car that is. I would love to own that and have that back at base. Just such a practical vehicle. Got a beautiful picnic set on the back as well. Yeah, what a great car. I mean, the Morris Oxfords are pretty rare in their own right. This particular era, sort of mid-50s, 54, 55, that kind of thing. But to find the Traveller Estate, that is just wonderful. What a great old machine. I love this clip-on picnic tray as well. That is just great. I wonder how many of these they made compared to the regular saloons. I wonder what sort of percentage of Oxford production were saloons and how many were the Travellers. Maybe they sold far fewer of these, which is why they're so rare to find now. We've got a few goodies for sale as well. Anything we need. Proper deck chairs. And next to that, another early Wolseley 1500, also with goodies for sale on the floor. A nice looking manifold there. Great pair there. There's the Austin 10-4, the chrome rad car. So these were introduced in 32, made till 34. There were narrow body and wide bodied versions of these. Which one this is, I'm not quite sure.
And they're rusting away on the flower bed.
So this was sort of the big brother at the time to the Austin 7, I suppose. Ooh, the Riley's for sale. So this is the 1.5 litre Riley RM. Dark blue background that tells us it's a 1.5. Pale blue, it would be the 2.5. So this is a 1953 Riley RME. Very complicated car to restore. Lots of ash framing behind those steel panels. And the roof is like a strange sort of composite, the sort of padding. You've got this Rexine outer surface, then there's like padding behind that and some wire mesh behind that. So you always want to have a really close look at the roof of any RM saloon. But, yeah, nice to see that one here today. And a fairly early P4. It's not early enough to be a Cyclops P4, but it's got the early rounded front wings and the slightly tapering tail. But yeah, very, very nice. An Elvis TA21 drop air coupe next to that. If you've not seen a video I did with the Elvis specialist a few months ago, have a look on do a site search for the Elvis guy, Chris Prince. That was an incredible collection of mainly TD21s, but there were some earlier TAs there as well. And this magnificent Rolls Royce, look at the fantastic lamps on the front of that. Real quality. You've got the little RR badge in the centre there. Lovely pre-war Rolls. It could be just post-war, but I'm guessing we'll go with pre-war. The Rolls Royce branded spot lamp on the front. But what a magnificent machine. Look at that. What an incredible looking engine. Window is open. Let's have a quick peer in. So this is a Phantom 3 Sedan de Ville, bodied by H.J. Mulliner. They've got a wind up and down partition. Should you not wish to converse with the chauffeur up the front. And slightly more modest is this. The Morris 8 Series 1 4-door saloon. Beautiful two-tone black and midnight blue. Super original leather seating in there. You can't beat original leather seats. Retrimmed interiors just don't look anything like as nice.
The fella from the internet.
Fella from the internet? Could be.
You had a Morris 8, didn't you?
I did have a Morris 8, you're right. Ooh, 1939 Ford V8, the old flathead. So this engine is a sort of the older relation to the engine in our V8 Pilot at home. The Pilot is 3.6. This is a little bit smaller, I think. I can't remember what size engine these are, but it is the old flathead V8. What a beautiful looking car. I love the slopey headlamps on these. It says 1939 in the window, so we'll go with that. Just late post-war. Well, it's still a couple of years before America got involved. Oh, Silver City Air Ferry. Very neat indeed. That was an air ferry service that used to run from the south coast flying over to France. Was it from Lid in Kent over to Le Touquet in northern France? The old Bristol freighters. Or was it the Carver? No, it was the Bristol freighter, I think. And the super freighter, which I think is what's in the picture there. Anyway, enough talking about old airplanes. Look at that dash. Cool, I wish the window was open, you could see that properly. But it's a stunning wood effect dashboard. Absolutely incredible. And I don't know if you can see the horn push, but it's got the V8 emblem set in to the horn push. Which, you know, and this was a mass-produced car of the late 1930s, but just so stylish. Absolutely incredible looking car. A four-door sedan. What a great looking car that is. The back of it reminds me very much of the Volvo PV444 that we used to have, which had split windows front and rear. Is this telling us that this one came in from New Zealand? Look at the detail on that number plate lamp, or license plate lamp I suppose we should call it. It's right hand drive, of course, being from New Zealand. What an amazing looking car that is. Quite streamlined design compared to what had gone before. Cars just a year or two older than this were a lot more upright, with very upright radiators and separate headlamps. But streamlining was all the rage in the late 1930s, especially in America. Hence designs like this. Some cars like the Chrysler Airflow were a little bit too much too soon, and people didn't always warm to them, so you had cars that kind of went with the streamlining but didn't go too berserk, just like this flathead Ford. And here, possibly the oldest car we've seen, the 1920s, the vintage Morris Cowley, a little Tourer. All pretty basic stuff. Speedo off over to the left over there. We saw a nice one of these down at Bicester, and that featured in the Bicester Heritage video just a week or so back. Of course, the manual hooter, the old, very, very nice. Who made that one? Lucas, King of the Road. Oh, lovely nickel plates, the Oster screens. Of course, oftentimes if you had a 4-seat Tourer and people were sat in a second row of seats back there, it'd get quite blustery, so you used to be able to get like a windscreen that fits in there behind the front seats, and they were often called Oster screens as well, produced by this company here, which hopefully you can just about see that. But yeah, what a beauty that is.
He's already started his judging. He's just been looking at a James Commodore, beautiful.
Jeep corner over here. Bit of Militaria. There's Corporal Jones.
Now, I'll call the other section today. We're just going to be looking for a runner-up and a winner.
Another pre-war car that I wanted to make sure I featured in the video here is this stunning 1935 Hillman Minx. You do see post-war Minxes from time to time, but not many of these pre-war Minxes. And I love the curved, sort of the slightly concave shape to the radiator grille there. Reminiscent a bit of the Aero Minx, of sort of also similar age to this one, mid-1930s. Two-tone paintwork on this car. I had a quick chat with the owner of this one shortly after arriving this morning. He asked me whether, because there's the rubber on the running boards is looking a bit past its best, and he asked me if he should fit shiny metal checker plate instead, a bit more resilient, and he asked me my opinion, so I think I managed to talk him out of that. I hope so anyway. He did ask. What a great little car. So rare these are now. You know, you see mid-size Austins and Morrises, but Hillman's not so much. This is a very unusual car. I'm not sure if I've ever seen one of these before, so it's real nice to see this one still on its original registration number. There's a 4-door saloon, 6-light bodywork, i.e. 3 windows per side. Spare wheel out on the back. A little drop down luggage rack there.
A lot of people tell me
these are the drains for the gutters, because you've got the sliding opening roof, and those are the drains there, and another one here. Quick pier in there, nice little opening quarter light as well. You don't often see that on sort of small to medium sized pre-war, mass-produced pre-war cars. So, yeah, very, very nice little car indeed. I like that one a lot. The badge on the grille, I suspect, is a bit later. There's the nice original Hillman badge on the radiator itself. Here's another one we didn't see coming in before. We had a quick look at the Austin A50 Cambridge, which is way over there somewhere in the far corner. And And here is its Morris brother, the Morris Oxford. This is a G plate, so late 60s. Different grille, very, very similar really to the Cambridge, but you've got a slightly different grille. Exactly the same under the bonnet, the same 1622 engine, single carb. And from the side, if you saw a side view of one of these, how would you know you're looking at the Morris as opposed to the Austin? Well, the Morris Oxfords have that strip that runs along the bottom of the wing and the top of the sill all the way along, as well as the M in the middle of the hubcap. But that strip that you can see running just below the doors is unique to the Oxford. The Cambridge didn't have that. So that's a bit of a clue if you see one of these driving past, which, let's be honest, doesn't happen very often. That's a super clean car. Isn't that nice? Very, very comfy in there, original seating. Beautiful car, lovely dash, all polished up. Looks absolutely phenomenal. Let's have a quick look round the back. Yeah. Very, very nice indeed. Slightly different backlights compared to its Cambridge brother. Obviously badged up differently as well. This one has a vinyl roof, which wouldn't have been an original fitment. Well, I say vinyl. Actually, it looks like a vinyl roof, but it's actually that stuff that you paint in the pickup bed. It's like a very hard, possibly rubberized surface, but from a distance it looks just like a vinyl roof.
It was done special order from brand new.
Was it?
Yes, from BMC.
So BMC fitted that.
On
Right. I wondered that. Well, yeah, I wondered that. Oh, thanks for setting me right.
Yeah.
So BMC did that.
And this was a special order.
Was it?
They never did a Morris Oxford in all this colour, all English white.
Yeah, because it's like the Mark II A40 colour, isn't it?
They did. Yeah. Cambridges did two-tone blue and all that white.
Yeah.
But this white was special order and the roof was special order and the black interior.
Did it have a particularly... Was it a notable first owner, or was it just someone who wanted their own? Was it? Right? Oh, right.
She bought it in '69 and sold it in '92 and done 8,000 miles in that period.
Wow.
It's on 16 now.
Is that it?
16,000 miles guaranteed.
I was just admiring through the window the interior. Could we have a quick peek at the seat? Could we have a quick look at the dash and everything? Because it just looks so nice through the window. We'll go around here and have a look at this low mileage Oxford interior.
Listen, you can own it if you...
Oh, I've got enough. I've got enough.
Pull some money out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice is that. Lovely original. Even smells proper, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As soon as you open the door, it just smells like it should do. But it's in lovely condition, isn't it?
It's like a 2-year-old car.
It is, isn't it?
Just come out of Kenyans, like, you know.
Yes.
Not been welded, not been plated, not been painted, not been nothing. It's just as it was.
It's amazing how just these tiny number of these cars survive like this, isn't it?
This chap bought it off this woman and he put it in a showroom.
Oh, right.
And what it was, he sold modern cars, but he wanted this as an exhibition piece.
Get people in, sort of thing.
And just to draw people in.
Yeah.
And all the time he had it, he did 8,000 in it. The lady did up to 8,000, and then in '92 when he had it, got 8,000 up clock, and it's now got 16,400, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
16,408, I think.
That's amazing.
On that. And I've done on that the 400.
Yeah.
Now, like, it was 16 exactly when I bought it.
Oh, it's beautiful in there. Such a rare survivor, that one.
Yeah,
I mean, most
all the door cards and everything.
Yeah.
They're just all like new. Look at bottoms of doors.
Black. Is that a special order thing as well, being black, do you think?
They did it. I don't know why they did it to try and cut down. They're going through a period in 70s.
Right. I know they cheapened the Morris Minors, didn't they? A bit the later ones.
They were trying to cut back. But they tried to compete with Cortinas. And everybody was saying, oh, vinyl roof, we love it, like, you know. So they did it, like, you know.
Wow.
And if you stood here now, you could think they've even put the seam.
Yes.
That's the seam as if it's been folded over. Now they did it, yeah.
That's incredible. I've never seen anything like that before. No.
As it is, like, you know.
Yeah, what a treat. What a treat that is.
Yeah.
It's so clean under here as well. There's the NSU R080.
I don't mind it knocking on the door, but
there are quite a few classic cars for sale here today, including this magnificent two-tone ZB Magnet Veritone. Yes, so it is a Veritone Magnet with a bigger back window, full restoration, new engine recently installed, Sierra 5-speed box, new leather upholstery, 123 electronic distributor fitted, electronic ignition, totally rust free. Yeah. What a beauty that is. What I like about these is how the hinges sort of are half exposed but half not exposed, and the curve of the back of the bonnet I think just looks really neat on these, the way it curves around the scuttle vent. Lovely MG interior there, the half octagon Speedo. And that's where, presumably that's where the pop-up semaphores would have been on the earlier Magnets. The body shell is based on that of the Wolseley 444, which was the Gerald Palmer design. Next to that, 924 Porsche Le Mans edition.
Machine.
TR6 and an Audi Coupe, a Mark II Ford Escort. Just
it's great to have it here today.
Driving by in a very vibrant green colour.
Some great machines. Now we're talking about little sort of
Bentley
monkey bikes,
Turbo R,
and we've got a couple of them here actually.
based on the previous Mulsanne, which itself was based on the Rolls-Royce Silver Spirit. There goes the Maserati. The little Unos, the Mark 1 Unos, very, very nice too. Another Volvo 240 over here next to the black GLT. This one's arrived since we last walked round here. On air suspension, I suspect, judging by how low it is. There's a 190E Mercedes. Another aluminium bodied XJ there. There's the XK8, and at the end here the Daimler XJ40, the Daimler 66, the V12. This is actually quite a rare car, 1993, 6-litre V12. That is actually quite a rare car.
I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Oh, dare I say, you are...
So we've got the Capri Club International here, and we filmed a whole gaggle of Capris driving in much earlier today, and here they are, all parked up. 2-litre Capri 2 here, pretty rare. Must be probably the rarest version, I suppose, of the Capri. You see Mark 1s, you see the later ones, but not many of these Capri 2s.
Thank you guys, thanks for being great sports as well. Thank you. Isle of Man. Well, Peter obviously raced in the Isle of Man.
The RS3 100, I think, there.
He's doing well. We're coming up to 5 to 2, so we just got a few more minutes.
Capri Laser edition here.
Be careful with the machine that...
Right, let's go and get a sandwich. Under bonnet view of the car next to ours. I was under the bonnet of ours only yesterday, swearing profusely because the oil filter for these is hidden down there underneath the manifold and goes into the side of the engine block, and it is a bit of a pig to get at. And whoever had put the oil filter on mine previously, I'm not sure who that was, had put it on, maybe it was a Gorilla, they'd put it on super tight. In the end I had to get a socket, an extension up and a bar up here just to get the leverage to get the thing off. But get it off I did, somehow. And we are hearing it today, because otherwise I had visions of this being stuck back at base. It appears the flies are liking it today. How about this pretty groovy Ford Transit Mark II, about 1980, liveried up in Castrol oils, the masterpiece in oils. Yeah, that's very neat. Side access doors, single wheels on the back. Of course, some of them are twin wheels. This is single, side access door. Left-hand drive as well. Pretty groovy machine. What does it say down here? Next to the Golf GTI we've got a Renault Clio Williams 2. The original Clio Williams was a very limited production, souped up version of the Clio. Of course, at the time Williams were Renault powered, the Grand Prix team were Renault powered, and so popular were the Clio Williamses, which were only ever intended to be produced in very small numbers. Such was their popularity, and much to the chagrin of people who'd bought one of the first cars, they actually put into production the Williams 2, and I believe they made a lot more of these. Pretty much the same, I think, as the first Clio Williams, other than the little number 2 on the back arch there. Yeah, lovely colour. I think they're all the same colour as well. Next to that, very original looking TR7 Drop Air Coupe, engine raised. That engine is very similar to that fitted to the bigger engine Dolomites, I think like the 1850, I think the Slant 4. Yeah, I think we're right on that. Twin carburetors here. Looks very original. This paintwork looks as if it's untampered with.
Have a ride round. Let's have some of you guys riding round.
British Leyland Cars Limited. Of course, Triumph was part of the glorious BL Empire at this point in time. This one's been fitted with an aluminium radiator for improved cooling.
And let's see whether we can get some fantastic cars or vehicles, all-wheel vehicles for judging, please. Right? Come on. It doesn't matter where the vehicle was made. It's manufactured between 19...
Here's that lovely Gilburn, sole example of the Gilburn mark here today, I think.
Come on, Lisa, and let's see if we can get as many of the 80s as we can in the arena. Keep coming. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. That'll do. Wonderful.
Cars of the 1980s going into the display arena.
A bit more, come forward a bit more, sir. Let's get as many in as we can. Right, Mr. L.R. Park. Arena, please, to the PA, and tell us what you've lost, and hopefully we can reunite you with it. 1980 to 89.
There goes the Mitsubishi Sapporo.
Oh, we've got a transit in. He says Castrol on the side.
What about sort of should you need any service as well?
And yeah, it wasn't so difficult. But it's great to see it now. That's good, that's good. Now, do you use it as a day car or just for shows or whatever? This is, take that one, it comes down. What happens with Hollow is the whole thing control and the rents are sitting on the front and it's a front, it's all the thing. And it
I think it's the turn of the 1990s cars to go into the arena. So let's go and have a quick look, see what goes in there. Spy Volvo plus Escort RS Cosworth, the Peugeot 106 Rally, the Alpine, a tweaked 7 Series BMW there.
So keep them coming. Little mini there, BMW. Peugeot 106. Toyota, DKW camper van, that's good. A motorhome, a Peugeot motorhome, and this goes back to 1990. 1990 to 1999, and they're still coming, look. That's it, square it up. I don't know if we can get them all in, but we'll try. Keep coming. Come on in tight. Bit more. Bit more, bit more, bit more. But bring him forward, yeah. The Mitsubishi, can we have it? Whether they're coming in or going out. I don't know whether they actually leave. Right, I think we're going to have to call a halt anyway. So, what we got? We've got one more to come in, 2 more. Let's get the 2. Can you manage to get in?
There goes the Z-Tech powered Herald.
We'll tell you about.
Who remembers these parking lights?
So it is a very, very special vehicle in many respects, plus this other vehicle. Now, worth a mention, E3MBE, which is a 1990 absolutely stunning vehicle.
It's good to see the old DKW F102, the Auto Union, is still here. Bonnet's down now so we can get a proper look at the overall shape of it.
Wash and polish it and clean it regularly.
What an incredible looking car that is. Shades of Mark 1 Cortina down the side, I think. Yeah, what a special car that is, left-hand drive. I'm assuming someone's imported this in more recent years. It's a 65 registration. But yeah, the interior is like new in there. Lovely painted dash as well. There's this great little Morris 1000, the 4-door that we saw driving in much earlier today. Fellow YouTuber as well, so thumbs up for that. Over here, the Humber Scepter that we saw earlier on as well. Somehow I managed to miss this while I was walking around before. This was very much top of the tree in terms of the Roots Group saloons of the day. Of course you had the Hillman Hunter, the Hillman Minx, but the Humber Scepter, yeah, this was the daddy. Lots of extra bright work, quite jazzy wheel trims. I think they did change on slightly later examples. vinyl roof. This one's got the full-length sunroof as well. This and the Hunter, it was the Arrow series range. I think that's what it was called when this was under development. Yeah, this is a treat to see such a good example of one of these now. I guess this was a rival to like the Cortina 1600E cars like that. Humber, of course, renowned for really big comfy luxury cars going way back in time. And this is pretty much the last gasp of the Humber name, I guess. Was there a Humber built after this, or was this it? Answers on the postcard, please. It was great to see some proper branded mud flaps as well.
Managed to fit all 5 people in at once. It wasn't very comfortable.
The problem is that there's a group on Facebook.
Are you all classic car fans?
Dear Mr. Mumford, the funding panel sent us documents to your special. Restoring a 1991 Toyota MR2.
Oh, good, so you're into the classic cars as well. What about you? Do you like classic cars?
Several
I'm
times.
more into bikes.
Right, we're trying to get now. That's a bit better.
60, 65.
Looks like an MX-5 engine in here, with added turbo though.
VTEC. Are you guys on board? I mean, you want to call or whatever? Good. Come on back here. Well, I don't drive at the moment. I'm doing the test. Nice, it's all ready.
And Mr. Payne, how the devil are you? There's a gentleman here, folks, who's been coming my knowledge.
Now here's one I nearly missed, the Ford Cortina we saw coming in, the GXL, beauty that is, but I don't remember seeing this one. What looks like a super original Morris 1100 on a C plate, so that puts the date of this one, the registration date, as 1965. What a beautiful car. I think the windows up so you can't really see too well, but you'll have to trust me, the interior is like new. This is a fairly early one with the slightly smaller backlights. That's in incredible condition. Much different dash compared to the Austin 1100. Yeah. That's in amazing condition. How has that survived, these things? Sadly, used to rust for fun. They weren't great at all. I mean, these were the best selling car for I think 8 years in the 1960s, but they disappeared so rapidly. Floors, wings, sills, subframe mountings, they would all rust away. And if you got 10 years out of one without giving it lots of preventative wax oiling or whatever, then you were doing pretty well. There's an X300, the 6-cylinder XJ. And here, a stunning example of the Morris 1100. And with that, I think we will probably start wrapping up this particular video. It's been a really enjoyable day out. I'm so glad I came down for this one. And there's been so many cars that are new to me and therefore new to the channel, which is great to see. There's a little midget just going in the background over there. And I think once I've had another butty and a quick drink, I'll probably head off myself too. All of us are off to another show tomorrow. And again, we'll be videoing that one. It will appear on the channel before too long. But I think in terms of this one, we will start wrapping things up and say thank you so much for watching. Please check out the rest of the channel while you're here. If you're new to the channel, please think about subscribing. That way you'll get notified when more videos are uploaded, and there are many more planned for the rest of 2024 and beyond, all being well. So thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.
It's 20. Can you just come in round there behind? No, that's one over there, please. I don't know whether you can move the jack and face the front, but